You're listening to CherryPickin Entertainment.
Throw me the ball and watch what I do with it.
You are now tuned into the CherryPickin podcast with your host, Andre Cherry.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in to the CherryPickin podcast. We are back for another season of college football action. Can you believe it? Can you believe we are in season 8 of the show? I'm thrilled, first of all, but it is always nice to take some time away from the show just to kind of recharge the batteries. But now I'm ready for a new season of college football. I spent much of my time this offseason just working hard at my day job, but also found some time to get away from work and to recharge the batteries. And I like staying active. I like doing things to just keep my mind active and try to keep my body in shape. And vacationing is like one of the biggest things that I love to do. I love to travel. Sarah and I actually just got back from vacation a few weeks ago. And while we were on vacation, I had the chance to meet Coach Ron, who is a coach at a big time high school here in the Northeast, up in the Big North Conference, if you're familiar. Sarah and I just had a great time getting to know him and his wife. And it was just nice being around some adults without our kids around. My daughter, she's now 7 years old. And if you've been listening to this show since the early beginning, I mean, you know, you've kind of followed her journey as she's gone from just a little kid to a little bit older little kid. And it's just crazy to think that I have a 7-year-old daughter, and definitely blessed. And it was definitely a blessing to get away for a few days. We were able to go to Minnesota, spend some time with the family on Sarah's side for 4th of July. But then Sarah and I were able to duck away for a few days and enjoy just a little bit of relaxation between her and I, which was great. And we met Coach Ron and his wife, Alicia. It was a pleasure to meet them both. And it was just a pleasure to hang around them for the days that we were, out just hanging on vacation together. He is a big-time college football fan. He's a big-time coach of high school football, but he had a player that he just graduated this past season who's going to be at a Big Ten school, a major Big Ten school. And Ron basically told me he is the best athlete that he's ever coached, which is crazy because he's had NFL players make it to the league. Like, he's had players that have been successful in the NFL. And he said this player that is going to a Big Ten school next season is better than all of them, which is crazy. I'll definitely have to watch to see how it pans out. Definitely need to stay in touch with him as well. I mean, he seems to be connected with a lot of movers and shakers within college football. He's a mover and shaker himself. So I hope we have a lifelong friendship, and I hope to see him again soon. He's playing a game out here kind of near me later this summer, which I plan to get out to. But it was just nice being on vacation. It was nice getting away. And it was also interesting that while we were away on vacation, we were able to share a space with high executives within the Chicago Bears organization. That was crazy to just stumble upon. Like, this gentleman reached out to me, and, he introduced himself. And then as I was walking back to I was at the pool when he came up to me, and I was walking back to my chair, it hit me instantly who this executive was. And I went back up to him and, introduced myself, told him I'm a huge Bears fan. And it was at that point that I think things could have gone two different directions for myself and for this executive. Because I'm sure he's on vacation with his family. He's trying to just relax and chill. And for someone to recognize him and be like, oh, I'm a Bears fan, while he's trying to enjoy his vacation, I could have either been a fanatic or, I could have played it cool, which is what I did. But if I was fanatical about my obsession for the Bears, I probably could have ruined his whole experience of being on vacation, being away. And fortunately, I didn't do that. I think at first he was a little nervous when I was like, oh, I'm a Bears fan. But basically, I just told him, we're rooting for the organization and we're rooting for their success. I hope you guys can do it. And he basically said right back to me, not even a pause, we're going to get it done. I believe we can do this. And so his optimism made me feel more positive about how I think the Bears can do this season. I know this is not an NFL podcast, but Chicago plays a tough schedule this year, but there's a lot of hope a lot of optimism that the Bears can turn it around. And it just was such a small world to be on vacation and just happen to bump into this executive. And it was, I wish I took a picture with him. But again, I didn't really want to ruin his whole trip and his vibe. He was also still working while being on vacation. And I do that with air quotes. So, I hope he found time to kind of recharge and rest as well. But it was inspiring being around people like this. I'm a big-time high school football coach, a big-time executive within college football, well, within the NFL, rather. But he also had ties to the college football, which is why I said that. But to be around that space where you've got people that know how to work hard and they're just relaxing, resting, recharging, it was inspiring to see. Like, these guys probably work full throttle most of the year, and then they get a little bit of time during the summer just to rest and relax. It was just cool being in their space. It was cool talking to them, and I hope that I could see them again in the near future. But it's always necessary to just relax, take a pause, take a beat, so that you can recharge your battery completely and then get back to the hustle. So that's what I intend to do on this podcast, or at least this podcast season. I'm trying to get kind of my feet back under me. So this is a light podcast. Just wanted to talk to you all. It's been a while. Hopefully you missed me, because I missed you a lot. I'm excited for the college football season. And certainly I'm going to dive more into it as we get going here. Right off the bat, there are a couple games that I am excited for this season. A couple games that I intend to go to this season. The first one is Oklahoma versus Temple. And that's going to be played in Philadelphia, if you can believe it or not. The Sooners are coming to Philly on September 13th. That's my sister's birthday. Happy early birthday, Adrian. Oklahoma, they're looking for a bounce-back season. They posted a 6-7 record in 2024. It was the second time that Coach Brett Venables posted only a 6-7 record since he's been head coach in Norman. I'm sure there's some whispers of some stuff probably going on right now. But strangely enough, Oklahoma, they're opening their season this year against my alma mater, Illinois State. And the Redbirds posted a 10-4 record last season in the Missouri Valley. They lost in the second round of the FCS playoffs. But there are people that I know who are close to the program, people that live in Bloomington, who believe Illinois State can go on a deep run on the FCS level. And I will be excited to watch that unfold. I really will. But getting back to Oklahoma, there is some hope that the Sooners can also go on a dark horse run in the SEC. Its schedule is packed next season, but they'll be counting on wins against ISU and Temple to help boost their potential bid for securing a playoff spot next season. Last season, OU beat up Temple pretty bad. In fact, it was the biggest rout OU handed an opponent all last season. So while I don't expect the result to be much different this season, as the strength of an SEC team will be too much against a bottom feeder American Conference team, however, I am curious to see how new head coach Casey Keeler is able to rally his team. Last year, the Owls posted a dismal 3-9 record, and their brightest spot on the roster was its kicker. And there's nothing against that. I'm just saying Temple, for what we know of the program, at least within the last 6 years, it's been a jumping off spot for many players. They've had success in the past. They've had players in the NFL. I mean, Temple for a spell there was like the hottest team around this area. And I'm talking, American Conference, but certainly even, Big Ten. You have Rutgers not too far away. Temple was that team for a while. And so now it's kind of getting back to the basics. Casey Keeler, he's a local guy, local-ish. He's got ties to the area, certainly. There's a lot of optimism, a lot of hope, a lot of excitement around his hiring. And so I'm just curious to see how he's going to do this season. I'm curious how he's going to rally his team against an Oklahoma Sooner squad that's hungry to do something, to make a statement in its, second season in the SEC. We saw Texas kind of go on a run last season. Oklahoma wants to do the same thing this season. So Oklahoma's going to be hungry. It should be exciting just to be there. Like, I don't have optimism that the Owls will get to 500 on the season this year, but I do think that they play more inspired ball this season. Of course, I'll keep my eyes on Temple as I normally do, But selfishly, I wanted a reason to see Oklahoma, an SEC team, playing football literally in my backyard at the Link this season. So I will definitely be at the Oklahoma versus Temple game on September 13th. And then another game that I'm really excited for is USC versus Illinois in Champaign on September 27th. This will be a week after my birthday, 39 this year, which is crazy. I'm like almost 40.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40! I'm not a kid!
But it will be exciting to be down in Champaign to watch the Fighting Illini. And I'm excited to see USC. I don't think I've ever seen a USC game, and it's crazy that they are in the Big Ten now, and that they're going to be playing in Champaign, Illinois. And I don't think they played in Champaign since like 1965, something like that. I mean, it's been a long, long time. And I haven't booked anything yet, and I just recently got the tentative go-ahead from the missus. But my plan is to head out to Champaign to see my first Illini football game in many, many years. I certainly have not been back to an Illinois game since the days of when I lived in Illinois. And I've been away from home now for about 13 years. So it's been a while. So I've seen Illinois, I'll take that back. I've seen Illinois play against Northwestern at Wrigley Field, but I haven't seen a game in Champaign probably since I lived in Illinois, if that makes sense. The Fighting Illini, by most accounts, is a team that should be pushing for the Big Ten crown this season, especially when you consider that the team returns 19 starters, including quarterback Luke Altmaier, who threw for over 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns compared to only 6 interceptions. They do return some experience in the backfield as well, which should help the offense flourish. The defense is locked and loaded as well. They've had some high-profile recruits come into the program as well, so may have a chance to see some studs play pretty early into their college football tenure. But Coach Brett Bielema, he's really an interesting dude. And while his return to the Big Ten has been a positive one, I can't help myself from looking at his record at Illinois these last 4 seasons and wonder if this is the season where he can really break through to the top. This is his 5th season in Champaign, and while he's had 2 seasons where he's won at least 8 games, he's also had a couple seasons where his Illinois team only mustered 5 wins. Now, granted, the first time he did that was his first season at Illinois, so you get that there's probably some transition for Brett Bielema. He replaced Lovie Smith. Some of Lovie's guys probably transferred out of there, so you give him some grace for that first season. But can he sustain success he had in 2024 when his Fighting Illini posted 10 wins, which was the first time they hit that mark since the 2001 season, if you can believe it or not? Illinois fans, for the most part, are very realistic and reasonable. There aren't outsized expectations for the program, but they've been faithful to the Illini and are hoping this is a season that Brett breaks through to the upper echelon of the Big Ten. Their record this season is more manageable, especially when you consider the biggest threat on the schedule is against Ohio State at home on October 11th. 10 wins for the Illini this season should be the floor, in my opinion. So Illinois has a chance to do something really special in Champaign, and I'm just excited to be there. That the plan is for me to be out there. Hopefully can link up with my buddies Devin and Joel. We went to Illinois State together, and every year they're always sending me, every Saturday it seems like, they're sending me pictures of their tailgate. They got crispy bacon, maybe not too crispy, but they got the fat on it. Like, I like a little bit of fat to crispy ratio on my bacon. I'm trying to be healthier, so I try not to eat too much. But Devin has shown me some photos where, like, he's got the skillet going and he's got like 10 rows of bacon just sizzling on the skillet. Seems like a great atmosphere. Illinois, like I said, is it's one of the more reasonable Big Ten teams, like Big Ten fan bases. They're not psychos. They're not nuts like Penn State fans are. Illinois State, it's a good family atmosphere at Illinois. And I hope to be out there and just enjoy a game with my friends that I've known since college. They are known to travel with the team, which is cool. Like, I've seen them out in Rutgers. I've seen their posts. And then I think they said they're going to Washington this year to see Illinois play the Huskies up in Seattle. So it's just cool to be a part of a Big Ten experience. I haven't been at a power program in a while. And so it'll be cool to just kind of break bread with these guys. And I'm just looking forward to the experience and looking forward to watching USC play football in Champaign, Illinois, which is crazy. I still haven't gotten over the fact that Kevin Warren was able to usher in the Pac-12 teams into the Big Ten. Now, not all of the Pac-12 teams or former Pac-12 are in the Big Ten, but the teams that you'd want to see are in the Big Ten. So we got USC, Washington, Oregon, UCLA. I mean, that's crazy. I never would have ever thought that California teams, West Coast teams, Washington State teams are playing in the Big Ten. It's wild. So I'm excited to check that out. I think Illinois should be able to get a win. We're a few weeks away, certainly, but there's a lot of optimism and a lot of hope that Illinois could go on a run, and I just would love to be in the building for that. So I can't wait to watch that. I can't wait to hook up and link up with some of my friends that I haven't seen in a while. College football, it's a good unifier. You know what I mean? Like when college football season is going, everybody loves college football. Everybody loves watching game day. Everybody loves getting ready to just get into their routines, whether you go to the games or not. But for me, it's like I watch a little bit of game day and I settle into the games as much as I can. It's hard when you've got a little family, but fortunately I'm able to watch enough that I can still be present in their lives. But they know college football is the thing that I love the most, aside from them, certainly. But I love college football, and it'd be cool to see some games. I don't think I saw any games last year. So just to see 2 games this year on the record or on the schedule will be great. If I could see more, I would love to see like an NC State game this season. They're playing at Pittsburgh later in October, I want to say. But I would love to see the Bears play the Ravens in Baltimore. I believe it's the same weekend, so I don't think I'd be able to easily get to Pittsburgh and then go to Baltimore for a weekend of just football action. But I'm excited for the season. I really am. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to expect. I feel like there'll be some surprises this year. It's crazy that Indiana went on a run last season. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I don't know if Indiana will have that same type of luck this year. Maybe Illinois is the new Indiana. And, don't say that to anybody that goes to Illinois. Nobody wants to be compared to Indiana. But on paper, Illinois should do some damage, and it'd be cool just to be there. All my friends, most of my friends went to Illinois, and so it'll just be cool to have a little reunion with them. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. I hope you are too. I don't have much else going on this summer. I'm headed to Comic-Con in a few days, actually. So if you are going to Comic-Con, certainly hit me up if you happen to be a college football fan that loves comics. I definitely want to link up with you, just introduce myself. But if not, it's all good too. But if you are headed to Comic-Con, I did release a podcast episode last year where I just talked about the experience. I've done some other things where I've written about the Comic-Con experience. I've done some videos and somewhat of like a documentary type style video of me going to Comic-Con. It's something that I love doing every year. It's like my annual trip to California occurs the same time Comic-Con happens. So, I'm not able to do much outside of Comic-Con. Like I would love to go back to California to see a Padres game or to go to LA. There's a lot of things that I would love to do in California, but I take the one shot I get each year in going to Comic-Con to really kind of fill that need for me. So I'm excited just to be out there. I released a podcast last year, like I said. If you are curious or interested in listening to it, you can find it on my on the Everything Else podcast. And I've also tweeted it out as well. I'll retweet it so you can find it. But I hope to document the experience again in some capacity. I have a press pass this year. And so there's some things that I've already listed down on my schedule. There's some parties and some events that are happening while I'm out there that I'm going to try to hit up as well. So I really am excited for the experience to be out in California again. I love Comic-Con. There's some cool things happening within the comic book space this year. If you're a fan of like the cinematic experience, I just came back from Superman earlier today, I went with my daughter Zola, and we watched Superman and had a good time. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, certainly, but it was definitely a different type of Superman. It's cool that the main character, he's from Philly. Like, that's really cool. I think my daughter enjoyed that. But yeah, I love watching movies in general, but I feel like the last few years, I mean, the thing I watch more than anything is probably the superhero movies. And so I'm not a huge DC fan, but Marvel is really where I get down, and I'm excited for the Fantastic Four. I'm gonna check that out while I'm out in California. But yeah, I there's just things that keep my interest. The podcast is one of them, but then also watching movies and Comic-Con is another thing that I love to do. So it's nice to have hobbies because it keeps you kind of sane. You know, I feel like it's real easy to lose your sanity these days, but thank God for college football and thank God for comic books. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope to be back in bigger and better form as the season gets closer. But I did want to just have a podcast where I could talk to you, just fill you in on what's been going on in my life, and just kind of, you know, shake the cobwebs off a little bit as I get ready to get back into the throes of college football. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I hope you're excited as well. College football season, I believe, is only like 33 days away at the time that I'm recording this podcast. So it's right around the corner, my friends. Hope you stay with me this season. Hit me up, Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky. You can find me. And again, thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being a friend. The Cherry Pickin' Podcast is back for season 8. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I cannot wait to talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Have a good week. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid.
Thank you again for tuning into my Cherry Pickin' Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to subscribe to my show and drop me a rating on Apple Podcasts. All of my digital content can be found at the website CherryPickinSports.com. And if you are looking to interact with me via social media, my Twitter handle is @Cherry_Pickin. That's PICKIN. On my Twitter, you'll also find a link to my blog where I post my weekly college football predictions and analysis. I can also be reached via email at cherrypickinsports@gmail.com. Please feel free to reach out to me regarding what you like about this podcast or about what content you'd like to hear more of on future episodes. I sincerely thank you for your support, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Take care.